Hello everyone, welcome to this ProThoughts webinar. Okay, so the topic for today is the PMI is coming up. The Project Management Institute, a non-profit organization based out of US, does a lot of things in project management, including the certification courses. I will be covering Mega. Just wait, be patient for a while. The next 1 hour is going to answer a lot of queries. Okay. So if I don't answer any of the queries till the end of this session, please ask the question at the end. Okay. So I'll hold off on the queries like this, which is related with PIMBOK 7. Probably all the answers I'm trying to going to cover it in the next 1 hour. So the topic for today is the PMP exam and even all the other PMI certification exams which are changing based on PMBOK 7. A lot of queries are going on probably in your mind. What is there in PMBOK 7? When is it going to be effective from? And a lot of many such things. Okay. So we are going to cover a lot of those things. So you can see the picture how the PMBOK guide 7th edition going to look like. That's the picture sent out by PMI. Okay. Marketed by PMI so far. So we will be covering a lot of topics about the PMBOK 7 and many other things, the changes about from the PMI. But before we get into that topic, just a quick introduction about myself so that you know whom you are getting the information from. So probably I can see a lot of familiar names here. So, but those of you who don't know me, my name is Arvind Nahata. I have been working as a co-founder, director, and partner full-time with ProThought Solutions since the inception of ProThoughts in 2015. And so you can see the qualifications. I'm myself a PMP certified professional, and I've conducted PMP trainings, around 125 trainings so far, 5,000 hours of training in project management, including PMP. It's not only the PMP. There are a lot of customized trainings and other non-PMP project management trainings as well. Out of which 125 workshops are purely for PMP of 35 hours each. And I've mentored around 2,500 working professionals across industries, across globe, have around 19 years of work experience. If I need to break that down, I did my engineering from India, shifted to US, did my post-graduation there, worked there for around a decade, and then shifted back for good back to India in 2011. And since then, I've been in India. Initially, when I shifted back, I was working with Accenture till 2015 before I resigned and took up the opportunity with ProThoughts full time. Okay, so and I've been working in different capacities, different roles, different designations. I've been into delivery, sales, marketing, backend support. I've been doing a lot of things, project manager, so managing projects, delivering in projects initially in my career. So and across different clients, my primary role have been throughout in the client location, client facing roles. Okay, and I have around 30,000 plus LinkedIn followers, so that's the maximum. I've maxed out my connections, so you can, if you send me the request, I cannot accept it. You can just simply follow me. Okay, so that's so in short about myself. And in the new pattern, which I'll going to talk about in a while, so the trainers have to be authorized by PMI so that they can conduct the official trainings. So I'm one of the authorized trainings. I am the authorized instructor by PMI, and ProThoughts is one of the authorized training partners. Every trainer instructor has to be linked with a partner. So like Arvind Nata is an authorized instructor by PMI to conduct the PMP sessions for ProThoughts, and ProThoughts is an authorized training partner. Okay, so that's a new thing which was not there before till last year. I'm just going to talk about that in a while. So, and about the organization as such, so ProThoughts, as I said, 2015 is when we came into existence, came into operations rather. Existence was 2014, and then we are a global PMI REP. REP stands for Registered Education Providers, and from the new setup, it's the Premier ATP, which is Authorized Training Partners, and we are also the official distributors of Rita Mulkey Corporation RMC Publications in India and Middle East. So we operate out of two offices, one in Pune, one in Mumbai, both in India. Pre-COVID, we used to conduct classroom trainings in 6 cities in India and several other locations in Middle East and Southeast Asia. That's our primary focus area. And we as an organization have trained 5,000 professionals, 10,000 hours of training, and the courses which we offer are PMP, CAPM, Program Management, PGMP, Disciplined Agile certification from PMI. So CDA is now renamed as DASM, and DALSM has been renamed as DASSM by PMI. Then a lot of other customized project management trainings and tools training as well, like MS Project, Primavera, Project Insight. So all that we do is project management. Training is obviously 50% of our business, but then we are also associated with 50 plus corporate clients where beyond trainings, we also do consulting, advisory. So I'm a visiting faculty in many B schools as well. You can see the names at the bottom where all Pro Thoughts trainers are visiting. Okay, we have conducted sessions in all these business schools on topics of project management, and we got quite a few recognitions in the last couple of years. The first one was back in 2015 when CIO Review magazine Times Group recognized us among the top 100 startups in India. That was the trigger point when we resigned from Accenture, when I resigned from Accenture and took up this full time. And like Your Story published our story in 2019. Then Economic Times, Catapult, CEO Insights also recognized us in different ways. So these are the few recognitions we have got in the last couple of years. And if you see on the right top corner, training, obviously 50% of the business. Other 50% comes in the terms of consulting, advisory, project management, software implementations like Primavera, Project Insight, MS Project, all these tools training and software implementations as well, project management softwares. And then we also owned a platform pre-COVID, before COVID, which is called Talk Project Management, which we are developing as a content-based platform and an e-commerce portal as well, a one-stop solution for project management for all the product and services. Okay. And this has been our vision, motto, and mantra. Okay. And Talk Project Management, TPM, is a platform which we are developing, still in a nascent stage. A lot of good information is there, but still it's work in progress. So a lot of webinars, upcoming webinars, the facts and surveys, a lot of upcoming, the news, recent news, the blogs, articles, and the e-commerce part of it, bookstore. So all these things are there on the TPM. So that was all about the organization as such. Now coming back to our topic, what's new in PMBOK 7? Okay, so now first, before we get into the PMBOK 7, in last year, 2000, January 2000, PMI launched the exposure draft of PMBOK 7 to all the experts and the REPs, and they wanted feedbacks on that PMBOK 7 exposure draft. So we have went through the PMBOK 7 exposure draft, recommended the changes. It was more than a year back. And at that time, PMI wanted to launch in middle of next year. COVID prevailed. So they postponed it end of last year in December, November, December. Still COVID prevailed. So they postponed it till April this year. And I still feel they're not going to launch it in April because the COVID is still prevailing. So they might launch it probably early next year, the PMBOK 7. They might announce the launch maybe by end of this year. But the PMBOK 7 based exams will be effective. This is our wild guess. PMI has not come up with any dates as such, but based on the history of PMBOK, I'm just going to show that in a while. With that said, it seems like PMBOK 7 is not going to be effective till 2022. So if you're planning to take any of the exams based on PMBOK in this year, don't wait for PMBOK 7. That's a recommendation from our side. Okay, it might go into the mid of 2022 as well. Okay, so that is one thing. Now coming to our history of PMBOK, 1996 when the first edition was launched, 2000, then 2004, 2008, 2013, 2018. You can see the history, right? So if this continues, for sure till 2022 the 7th edition is not going to be launched, and that's the earliest date. It might go, like if you see 13 to 18 is like 5 years, 8 to 13 was another 5 years. So every 4 to 5 years they have been revising the PMBOK. So this time they might, even if they do it a little early, still it will not be before 2022, going by the history of all the previous PMBOK launches. right? So with this, I think this gives a good understanding of, they might create a buzz about PMBOK 7 right now in this year, but the PMBOK 7 to be effective, based on this picture which you can see, I'm pretty sure you will be confident it's not going to be before 2022, right? Now, if they give a surprise, that's a different thing, but you just go with the what our understanding is, right? So I will suggest, if you're planning to take the exam based on PMBOK in any of these upcoming months, don't wait for PMBOK 7. Okay, that's one thing. Now, with that said, if I before I talk about the changes in the PMBOK 7, okay, you need to understand what are the changes which have been effective from January 2nd this year. So earlier the plan was to the changes which the pattern changes. So the changes which has been effective from 2nd of January this year, there are three things that got changed. The one is the exam pattern got changed, second the process and the structure of the PMP certification, and third is the syllabus. All the three things got impacted effective from January 2nd, 2021, which was initially planned to be in July 1, 2020 last year, but because of the COVID, they postponed it, and Jan 2nd, 2021. And PMBOK 7 was due to get launched in 2020. So now, as I said, announcement might happen end of 2021 and effective maybe by end of 2022. That's a conservative estimate. Okay, so now if I talk about before the PMBOK 7, you need to understand this is the pattern changes, the structure changes, syllabus changes, which they have done effective January 2nd this year. That is the first stepping stone towards PMBOK 7. Okay, suddenly if they would have launched PMBOK 7, it would have been a huge change and big struggle for people who have been preparing in the previous version. So they are doing it step by step. So the first step you need to understand, then only the PMBOK 7 changes you will be able to correlate with. So let's talk about these three: the exam pattern, the process structure, and the syllabus. What are the changes that has been done? So first of all, till last year, the entire syllabus was around the 5 domains. Your pass fail was getting evaluated across these 5 domains. The questions that were coming on the screen on the exam screen, they were linked with each of these 5 domains, and how many questions will be coming from each of the 5 domains, that was also fixed, like 13% from initiation, 24% from planning, and so on. Now, from January 2nd this year, they have changed the domains from 5 to 3, and the new 3 domains you can see at the bottom: people, process, and business environment. And these 3 domains are also very well aligned with the talent triangle, the colored triangle which you can see on the right side, which is copied from the PMI website. So everything they link is with these 3 areas in project management, which are they're calling it as the 3 domains now. Okay, so people domain is nothing but the leadership, interpersonal skills. Process domain is nothing but the technical project management, all the technical, the tools and the techniques and everything that you need to know, right? And the strategic and business management is nothing but the business environment, aligning with the big picture, aligning with the strategic goals of the organization, right? Seeing the big picture and dealing with the management. So those things, understanding the end users. So those things will all fall under business environment, strategic and business management. And you can see the weightages of these 3 domains as well, right? Business environment, very less, just 8%. It's percent, not the number of questions. 50%, half of the question paper is still technical project management, process domain. And interpersonal skills, 42%, right? So these are the weightages, official weightages announced by PMI, based how many questions will be coming from each of these domains. So that's the new 5 to 3 domain changes, and which is a big thing, because it's not only the questions, your pass and fail, your evaluation of pass and fail is also linked with this. So you will be evaluated how did you perform on the people front, on the process front, on the business environment front. Earlier it was on the 5 fronts, now it will be on the 3 fronts, and even the report card will say the same. Okay, and second thing, syllabus. Earlier, till last year, the weightage of agile questions, which is agile or plus hybrid questions combined together, was less than 20% in the PMP exam. Now, from January 2nd onwards, the weightage of the questions between agile plus hybrid on one side and predictive or waterfall on the other side is 50-50. Half of the question is predictive and the other half is adaptive, agile or hybrid. So it's 20%, less than 20% went up to about 50%. That's the weightage of agile questions in the PMP exam in the new pattern. And under each of these three domains, they have created something called tasks and enablers, which you can, I'm not going to talk in detail about them, but they are freely available on the PMI website. If you go on pmi.org, there is an exam content outline document for PMP. So if you download it's freely available. You can download the PMP exam content outline document, and it will tell you all the tasks and enablers for each of the three domains. It's a PDF file of 8 to 10 pages, which is detailing out all the tasks and enablers. So that's a one-time read. It will not take more than 30 minutes to 1 hour for you to go through that if you're really interested about it. No, sir. So the presentation will not be shared with the group, but if you need the recorded video link, you can drop an email. I'll share with you the contact details at the end. The recorded video can be shared with you. Okay. So there are many other changes in the effective from January 2nd, like 200 questions now reduced to 180, and many such type of things are there. 2 breaks got added into the exam. So I'm not getting into those things because those are not linked with PMBOK, right? So here our focus is PMBOK 7. That's why the things which are related with PMBOK 7, which is like the first step towards the changes in the PMBOK 7, I'm only covering that part. Please don't assume that these are the only changes effective from January 2nd. There are few more, quite a while. And we have taken a separate session for that. So if you want to know that in detail about that, you can request an access to that session. Okay. And in the new pattern, okay, another question seems like. So Sana, you don't have to let me know. If you have dropped the email, the support team will. I'll share with you the email ID at the end, and you can drop an email on that email ID. I'll not be able to note down all the email IDs right now over this session. Okay, so you just need to drop a 1-liner or 2-liner on that support ID requesting for the access. Okay, so this is a student manual which PMI have come up with in the new pattern, effective from January 2nd onwards. So if you want to clear the PMP exam, now PMBOK 6, right now PMBOK 6 or Rita Mulkey 10, these books are not good enough. That is only covering 50% of the syllabus, which is the waterfall predictive part, plus a little bit of agile. Now, because of the increase of the weightage of agile in the syllabus, you need more content on agile. That's where this PMP student manual, which is created by PMI as an add-on study material on top of the existing study materials. Exam pattern will be based on PMBOK 6. Till PMBOK 7 is not officially launched, Deepika, you will not find exam based on PMBOK 7. If there is no PMBOK 7 in the market, not yet launched, how can the exams can be based on PMBOK 7? And if you are planning to take the exam based on PMBOK 7, I will recommend every month, be on a lookout, go on pmi.org. If you don't find a news about PMBOK 7 there, probably it's not yet launched or announced. Once in a quarter, maybe, if you're not that aggressive. Okay, so that's a different topic, Saros, not linked with WPMP is. Okay, so this student manual, which you can see here, this is like an add-on thing because of the weightage of the agile getting increased. So this is an additional study material that you need to go through. It's like a 400 plus pages, 404 pages PDF file. Just 1 second. So it's a 404 pages PDF file that you need to get the access to. Okay, and this is not a PDF file downloadable. It's like a Kindle version of a book, right? You can just go on the platform. I'm just going to talk about that. So PMI have created a platform called PMI Choice Platform, and they are giving a lot of content, study materials on Agile on that platform. This is one of them. There are 15 high quality videos, spotlight videos from PMI on different topics of Agile. Then there is a pre and post assessment, some guidelines and everything. So a lot of things are there. Few things are supporting material, few things are main study material. Like this is the main textbook. So you cannot get this directly. You need to get the access to the platform. This is inbuilt in that already. You can just go to the platform, open it up. It's a pretty user friendly um, book in a Kindle format. It's not a downloadable version. Okay, so this is an additional book that you need to go. So probably with PMBOK 7, this is our assumption. We don't know whether they are going to continue with this or PMBOK 7 is going to cover all of these things in that. Okay, because they have created a pretty good book here in 400 pages. So to me, it does not make sense to merge this with PMBOK again. So it could be two different books. So probably that's how they will keep it as well. Because we have seen the exposure draft of PMBOK 7 and that is nowhere close to this. That does not contain any of these things. So that's why this probably is going to stay. So going forward for PMP, there will be a PMBOK 7. Going forward means once the PMBOK 7 gets launched. Right now, PMBOK 6 plus this is what you need to prepare for PMP. Going forward, it will be probably PMBOK 7 plus this. That's what is our assumption. Okay, and as I said, this is on the PMI Choice platform. You cannot buy that directly from PMI. You only can buy it via authorized ATPs like ProThoughts. So, and to ProThoughts also, you can only get the access to it if you attend our sessions, because it's linked with the 35 PDUs, which make you eligible for PMP. Those things are also on that platform itself. So you will not get the access to the platform till you attend the session on PMP. Okay, so that was something I just wanted to cover. Now, if I talk about the new structure, PMI have become much more stricter. Earlier, after giving the REP status to an institution, REP could decide, the organization like ProThoughts was an REP. We could decide who our trainers are going to be, what will be the presentation slides with which we need to train, what will be the additional study materials. Everything we could decide, right? The only thing is initially we need to become an REP. That's all. Now in the new ATP program, PMI have become much more stricter in qualifying every institute as an ATP. So if there were 3,000 REPs earlier, now there are only 1,000 ATPs, 1/3. So number of training providers have reduced because of the strict evaluation of the PMI of the institutes. So one thing is that. Second, now even after the institute is authorized as a training partner, they just cannot decide any trainer. Once they become a partner, they need to nominate the trainers to the PMI. The trainer's profile is evaluated. We need to go through a train the trainer session and we need to clear an exam as well. Only after that we become an authorized trainer. And every authorized trainer is linked with a training partner. So if I become an authorized trainer for ProThoughts approved by PMI, I cannot just go and conduct a training for any other institute. For that, I need to get an approval from PMI all over again. So trainer is linked with the training institute as well. That is second thing. So trainers also have to go through a rigorous evaluation process and need to be approved. And plus, along with that, the presentation slides on which we train you for the 35 hours of training, right? Those slides are also standardized. PMI is giving us the slides on which we need to train you. That's what we are trained for in the train the trainer session. So the same presentation slides will be used by all the ATPs. Same slides will be what you will be seeing in any of the trainings. The trainer's style of presentation might vary, but what will keep on going on the screen will stay the same. Okay, so that is so PMI is controlling a lot of things now to maintain good quality, and obviously because of all of these things, prices have gone up. They have started our charges. I'm not going to talk about that, but what we pay now to PMI for conducting the sessions per candidate and everything is also gone up. Okay, so quality comes at a price. So these are the new things which are effective already from 2nd January onwards, right? Now coming to the PMBOK 7 changes. What is changing in PMBOK 7? So till PMBOK 6, PMBOK 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, since last 20 plus years, PMI have been always talking about processes. It started with much lesser number of processes, then it became it came into 36, 39, 42, 47, 49 processes. So every PMBOK version was changing the number of processes, increasing, decreasing, but eventually it was all processes. For the first time, they are getting away with the processes and they are replacing it with the 12 governing principles, which is more aligned with the agile ways of doing things. Agile, any of the agile practices that you talk about is driven based on the principles and practices, right? So that's what PMI is also aligning based on, because now the 50% weightage is on agile, right? So 12 governing principles is the new thing in the PMBOK 7 rather than the 49 processes. Second, as I said, reduction in the waterfall and more of adaptive or agile. So anything that you will see in PMBOK 7 is more of a descriptive in nature rather than prescriptive. What do you mean by prescriptive and descriptive? Prescriptive means something which is imposed upon you. Do it this way and you will be successful. This is prescription, right? The doctor prescribes a medicine to you. Eat this and you will be fine. Versus in agile or adaptive, it is more descriptive, where they just give you the options. These are the 5 things. Now you decide. So here you will get options, and more power is in the hands of the project manager to decide which out of the 5, 4, 5, 6 options is the best for you, based on the context and many other things, right? So the new approach which PMBOK 7 is going to take will be less of prescriptive and more of descriptive approach. And till now, along with the 49 processes in PMBOK 6, the entire knowledge base in PMBOK 6 was structured around the knowledge areas. There were 10 knowledge areas and 600 plus ITTOs in the PMP syllabus. They are getting away with the knowledge areas in PMBOK 7. They are getting away with the ITTOs. Now, if you ask me what is ITTOs? ITTOs used to stand for input, tool, techniques, output. So input is like a raw material, output is the finished product, tool and technique is the machinery which is processing the raw material to produce the final product. So ITTOs concept is getting away because all the ITTOs were linked with the processes. If there is no processes, there cannot be any ITTOs. And now everything will be around the project performance domains, which will be further broken down into activities and tasks. Every project performance domains will have multiple activities and under that multiple tasks. Okay. And each of the 3 domains, which we have talked about earlier, right? People, process, and business. So all the 3 domains will have important management practices under them defined. The ITTOs, which I said that they are getting away with, now they are replacing that. The TT part, tools and techniques part, is now they are calling it as models, methods, and artifacts. Artifacts are nothing but documents that you need to deliver as a part of the project management work, and models and methods will be the tools and techniques. So now they're talking more about models, methods, and artifacts. And for all the models, methods, and artifacts, one thing, a very powerful thing which PMI is now doing is they are creating another platform. So a lot of people have already got the access to that platform. Like I have the access to that platform, which is called a PMI Standards Plus platform, where you can access all the models, methods, and artifacts. So all that you are learning in the book, in the study materials, you will be able to use it on the PMI Standards Plus tool as well. So like if you know, okay, I need to create a retrospective document, say for example, a lessons learned register, right? So if you are creating that, how does it look like? What the template of the document needs to be? You will have many such type of questions, right? So for that, you can go into the PMI Standards Plus and you will have the access to that. So you will exactly know how it looks like and many other things. You can actually end up using it as well. So they are giving this PMI Standards Plus tool. Probably every person who is getting registered for PMP is going to get, with the PMI membership, is going to get the access to the PMI Standards Plus. I'm not sure about the how PMI is going to decide the access for the PMI standards, who will get it, who will not. But like I'm a PMI active PMI member, and I have the access to the PMI standards plus. I did not do anything new for it. So I'm assuming that if you are a paid member with PMI standards plus tool access will be there. Okay. And as I said, process narrative principles are all based on standards, which is not telling you how to do it. It's just telling you what to do and why to do. So focus is shifted from how to what and why. What to do, why to do. That's why it's more of descriptive. If how to do, then it will be prescriptive. Right? And in PMBOK 7, they have segregated the entire book into two parts. One part of the book is talking about all the PI project management standards, and the second talks about guide. Standards means recommendations. Guide means mandatory things, ethics, compliance related things, right? So guide is a must where you cannot compromise. Standards means good practices. Good if you do it, but even if you don't do it, perfectly fine. So they are breaking it up into what is mandatory, what is not mandatory. And another thing which Agile focuses primarily more on is value-based delivery. The focus is not on getting the things done faster. It's about evaluating what is the best value to the end user, to the customer, to the business. So it's more of a focusing on value rather than focusing on delivery. Obviously, they are linked together, but primary focus shifted from delivery to value. So it's more of a value-based delivery. So value stream and many such type of terms which were not there in the current PMBOK 6, you will find them in PMBOK 7. Okay, like delivering early is a bigger value. What if you deliver something in 3 months versus you deliver the same thing in 10 months? It's the same thing that you're delivering, but delivering in 3 months is of a bigger value, right? So how to do that? All that type of focus. I just gave you one example of value linked with schedule. The value can be linked with many other things as well. So value-based delivery is what the focus is shifted on, right? And as I said, that they have launched this digital and interactive element, which is PMI Standards Plus. So these are on a high level the changes coming up with PMBOK 7. And as I said, focus has shifted from predictive to adaptive, waterfall to agile. It's more of a descriptive approach now rather than prescriptive approach. And everything is because of that. Like the processes and everything is also changed because of that only, because to align it with the descriptive approach. And they are coming up with this PMI Standards Plus tool where you can have a hands-on experience as well of what you are learning in theory. Okay, and the first point, 49 processes, 10 knowledge areas, ITTOs, they are getting away with those and they are coming up with the principles, practices, and all these type of things, which is more aligned with the agile way of doing things. Okay. So with that, I think, what's the time right now? We have still 5-10 minutes. So this is a PMI. I could see maximum of you are from Indian Standard Time. So I've just put the PMI Indian time and the PMI India contact details here. In case if you need to have any specific query about PMBOK 7, when it's getting launched, if you are a little more particular about those things, you can drop an email, you can call them up, you can chat on that as well. If you go on their website, you can initiate a chat. So if you go on, so Andres, if you are in Central American time, if you go on pmi.org, rather than selecting Asia Pacific, you can just select American subcontinent, and you will find all the options. So once you select that, enter that, the contact us will give you your local contact details. But they normally give all the options: email, call, and chat. All the three options are always available on their website across geographies. Okay. And anything specific that you have for us, if you need to reach out to us, these are our contact details. The landline number is no more working. My mistake, I've not removed it, but the last two mobile numbers are working. We are available on WhatsApp on those numbers. You can call us as well on those last two numbers. Please ignore the landline number, the first one. Okay. And info@prothoughts.co.in, you can always drop an email on that for any queries. Like even if you want a recorded access to this video, please drop an email to info@prothoughts, and we will be more than happy within a day or two to respond back to it. And those of you who are attending this session for one PDU, renewal PDU, the claim code is at the top. You can note it down, 4032. It's not O, 40, not 40. So you can note it down, and you can claim it at any point of time. Just give 24 hours. So probably claim it at any time after tomorrow evening, and you should be able to go smoothly. If in case renewal PDU does not work, which I doubt, it's never happened, then you can still drop an email on info@prothoughts or reach us out on the two numbers. So with that said, I will stop here, and I'm more than willing to take any questions here.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So the project management on one side, other side, we have Safe Agile, Scrum Master, Product Owner, right? How it is competitive in the market?
Okay,
Because
so
I see now we are aligning to the Safe Agile, Scrum Master, Product Owner, right?
okay, so let me just tell you, I'm a big fan of PMI here because of the way they can visualize things and they can see the bigger picture. Because agile is a mindset, right? And if I talk about agile, there are 256 plus certifications available in the market. You probably know only 10 or 15 names, which are prominent ones like CSM, Safe Agilist, and many such names, right? XP. So there are 256 certifications of agile in the market. So it becomes very tough for an individual to decide which agile approach to go, right? That's where PMI came up with an approach, even ACP as such from PMI's point of view, right? So they never have talked about any one specific methodology. Here also in PMP, the agile which they are talking about is agile as a mindset. Like if, say for example, if you go with a CSM, Certified Scrum Master certification, what happens? Can you apply for a position which is needing a Safe Agilist professional? No. But if you are PMP with a agile as a mindset, like if I apply for a job, because I understand agile not as a methodology, but agile is like a way of doing things, and Scrum have their own limitations. Safe Agilist has their Safe Agile has its own limitation. XP has its own. Kanban has its own. So every agile approach has its own limitations. And if you are going with those certifications, you are limiting your options, career options in the market. That's where ACP and PMP with agile as a mindset comes pretty handy. That is one thing. Now, in PMP, the agile that is coming in, it's not only focusing only on agile. It is 50% agile, 50% waterfall. So it's not like 100% of the projects worldwide is going to be agile. Agile is something which is just anything that comes new has a big fuss, but gradually it settles down and wins, right? So it's in the initial phase of when the things are, people find something new, they get excited, but gradually it will wean down, and both have their own markets. It's not like that waterfall or predictive approach, Six Sigma cannot be agile, right? What is the difference between agile and waterfall? If I ask you, waterfall is, or predictive is, let's plan upfront everything so that no chances of failure in the future, or very less or minimal chances. And even if you get some surprises, you are ready to face them, right? That is what is waterfall. predictive. You try to predict everything upfront, so that chances of failure reduces. Agile, on the other hand, is let's get down to work quickly, and as and when we will face the problem, we will try to solve it. Adaptability. You keep on adapting to the situation. In short, in layman's term, this is what is agile. Whether you go with Scrum, whether you go with XP, any of the approaches, this is what is agile. Let's not do a lot of planning. Let's get down to work quickly, right? And after that, there is a lot of variations, obviously, but agile in short is this. So I'm not saying that agile don't have a market, but does not mean that waterfall don't have a market. So if you only go with agile, there is limitation. If you go with Scrum, even lesser limitation, or XP, even lesser limitation. But if you understand project management as a whole, then like for me, if you ask me, I'll say I don't care about XP or Scrum, because all are agile, right? I understand all of them, because I understand agile as a mindset. So you just put me on an agile project, I know how to manage it. I know all the options, I know all the things. So that's where PMP becomes a little more powerful than any of the agile certifications. And because agile, PMP has been very powerful certification as compared to any other project management certification. And the way the PMI have visioned it in the for the future, and the way the changes have been incorporated, believe me, it will be very tough to compete any of the agile things to compete with the agile that is in PMP.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so the recording of the sessions, as I said, you cannot see it. You need to drop an email to us. Let me just go back to the previous screen here. So you can note down the mail ID info@ProThought. You can drop an email for the recording of the session, and you will get a link. You can re-listen the whole 1 hour session. Yes, Chandan. So one way of looking at agile is you should implement agile only if you are okay with the project to fail. That is one way of looking at it. I'm not saying the only way. Okay, many people counter that as well, but risk is more. Chances of failure is more in agile. Yes, but you can adapt to it. That's the power. You get more flexibility there. Quick output, flexibility. A lot of benefits are there in agile as well. I'm not saying it's only drawbacks. Both have their own pros and cons. So Hamid, if you are looking for the training and the everything, so let me give you the, if you're looking for PMP, examination fees has been the same, $405 from PMI, and there is a PMI membership, $139. So 405 USD plus 139 USD for the PMI membership. These are the two PMI charges that you need to pay, not right away when you enroll with us, but much later when you feel you are ready for the exam. You need to do the application and all at that point. And if you want our charges, you can drop us an email or just drop on the WhatsApp your email ID, and we can send you all the details. There are multiple combinations. It depends on which package you take. There's a comprehensive package, basic package, a lot of things. So we offer a lot of things in PMP: mock exams, training, study materials, support in the application, support in the while you are preparing, educational support. So all those things are inclusive in different packages. So just drop us on WhatsApp your email address, and we will be more than happy to send you the details via email. Okay, so yes, so we have agile certification training offerings as well. So you need to tell me which certifications you are looking for. You can just message us on WhatsApp or email, and we can let you know on that. So we have a lot of offerings. I told you initially what are the offerings. I need to go to the very initial slide about ProThoughts. That's where I covered all the courses that we do offer. So there is a DASM, Disciplined Agile Scrum Master. So agile is nothing to do with real estate or construction, Satya. Agile is a way of, as I said, agile is a mindset. Agile is a way of getting things done, right? So it is equally helpful in real estate and construction as it will be in manufacturing, as it will be in IT, as it will be in banking. We get a lot of people who come for PMP training certifications who are entrepreneurs, who are coming from medical backgrounds, people from military, army. They do come, and their way of looking at things. PMP is a life skill. Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, so there is a YouTube video of mine. You can go through that, which is talking about a 1 hour video, which talks about life is a project. Life is a project. So PMP is a life skill. Okay, so what you are learning in PMP is all basic common sense, organized and put it in a proper way. Common sense is very uncommon in common people. If you have common sense, you really don't need a PMP as well at times, I will say, right? But people don't understand how to do the things in an organized way. What are the terminologies called? A lot of these things has to be organized and put it in a proper way. That's what PMP is doing. It's not like a rock, something which is innovated new from somewhere. Okay. So it's all common sense things on getting things done. Yes, Harshvardhan, in the next 2-3 months for sure. I don't see, like, even if the PMI announces PMBOK 7 tomorrow, to make it effective, it will take 6 months for sure. It's not like overnight or within a month they can do it, because those who are preparing in the halfway through, they have, PMI has to give them time as well, right? So now, and then for us also to pick up the PMBOK 7, change the study materials, mock exams, a lot of those things needs to be modified, right? So that cannot happen overnight. So even if they announce it today, it will still take 6 months. That's why I said till 2022, even if they announce it in June, July, August, September, still we are looking at PMP exam based on PMBOK 7 next year only, at the earliest. So Pranali, if you are planning to take the exam in the next 3 months, PMBOK 6 plus Agile Alliance Guide is one option. Rita Mulkey 10 is another option. These are the two books. Rita 10, personally, we will recommend. We are the distributors. Why we have taken that distributorship is RMC Publications is one of the best study materials for project management for PMI courses. Okay, so PMBOK is not a PMP specific study material. CAPM, PMI says refer PMBOK. PMP, it says refer PMBOK. So for all the certifications of PMI, PMI says we have one book, which is PMBOK, which is the Bible of project management. So it's not a PMP focused or PMP specific study material. So you need a guide which helps you prepare for one specific exam. You can use Rita 9, but then you will need to go through some more additional study material, because 60% of the book is same, 40% modifications have happened from Rita 9 to 10. In Rita 10, you will find more of Agile plus many other things as well. The tips and tricks on how to crack the exam, PMP exam, those things which you will not find in PMBOK, that is there in Rita as well. So if you are preparing smartly, it's all about smart study, not hard study. PMP is all about smart study. It's no rocket science, but you need to know how to effectively crack it. That's all I will say. So Rita 10, PMBOK 6, and you don't need both. You need one of those two, either Rita 10 or PMBOK 6. PMBOK 6, you will need more time. That's for sure. Rita 10, your preparation will be more effective and faster. That's our personal thing, because I've been training and I know Rita Mulkey in and out, and I understand the way their focus is. Think about a textbook and a guide in our school times, right? Textbook and a guide. At times we used to prefer guide. Why? Because it used to help us understand the concepts and crack the exam in a more effective way. It's the same thing here. Okay, a lot of questions here. Let me just... No, life is a project, Arvind. There is no management there. Life is a project. Just search with my name, Arvind Nata, you probably will find that. Or life is a project, you will find that also as well. Okay. So Sam, 35 hours, 22K versus 13K. A lot of things have changed. 2 years, the prices, inflation and other things, plus the PMI charges, dollar rate, a lot of things have changed, right? So You cannot have the same price what used to be 5 years back still. So PMI membership, Deepika, has a lot of benefits given if you avail that benefit. Okay, so I talk about the PMP strategy in the course. I dedicate 1 hour out of the 35 hours of the training. Talking the last 1 hour is only talking about the smart way, the next step-by-step process of cracking the exam. How to all the do's and don'ts. I cover that in the last 1 hour. Okay, so you need to attend the session to understand the best way of getting PMP certified. I told you, I gave you a few pointers right now, but those are like spread across. It's not in an organized way. PMI membership comes at a cost. The biggest benefit of the PMI membership is it covers the exam fees as well. Without the membership, the exam fees goes up. It's no more 405. It's $555. That's the biggest benefit. The price is taken care in the exam fees itself. So PDU claim code is on the top, Ramna, on the screen. So you can copy that. So I will recommend, don't delay just because you PMBOK 7 is coming, because you can always upgrade your knowledge to PMBOK 7. You don't have to take the exam again at that time, right? We will be conducting a lot of sessions about what's changing from PMBOK 6 to 7, all those things. So you can attend the session and upgrade your knowledge. And you can still stay certified. I am PMBOK 3 certified. So what? PMBOK 4, 5, 6, 7 now is going to come. Nothing has changed. Think about a doctor, right? Somebody who becomes a doctor by getting a degree 20 years back, he just has to keep himself up to date with the medical science, update himself with the medical science and to stay competitive. But his degree is still valid and he's still a doctor. It's the same thing here. To stay competitive, you have to be up to the mark. You need to know what are the new things. You have to stay updated. So I will not suggest to wait for PMBOK 7 because you can always upgrade your knowledge on that. Okay, now coming to few other questions. Hold on. You can see a lot of questions here. I have Rita 9. Will it work with plus PM manual? Yes, Mega. Rita 9 plus the student manual should be good enough. If you're attending the session, then yes. And PM manual, you cannot get it without attending the session. That's a PMI mandate. Okay. Then the Chandan's question is there always bare minimum product features we should plan in agile project? You should not plan for agile projects, features or product. That is the product owner's task, right? You should have that. And based on that, your work starts as a project manager. If you are deciding, then you are a product owner rather than a project manager. Then my thought process will change. Okay, head first. Okay, so yeah, Nino, good that you brought it up. Head first, one of the very good books in terms of understanding project management concepts, but not a good book to crack the exam, PMP exam. Why? Because it's more of a comical book. A lot of pictures. Think about a comical book, right? Pictures is worth 1,000 words. So in form of pictures, they explain you a lot of concepts. But the problem with the Head First book is that they don't cover the entire syllabus of PMP. The easier part of the syllabus is covered in the surface knowledge of project management is very well defined in Head First. But to crack PMP, only the surface knowledge is not good enough. The tougher parts is what you need to also focus upon, right? That's where Head First is lagging. So every time you'll find somebody who is referring to Head First has to refer some other book for sure. But if you are starting with Rita Mulke, you don't have to worry anywhere else. If you're starting with PMBOK, you don't have to worry about any other book as well. Okay, that's why Head First is something. Head First is good for just understanding project management, not for cracking a competitive exam. So Rita 9 plus, so Chandan, Rita 9 plus either the PMP student manual, which by attending our sessions, PMI mandated sessions, you need to get it, or Rita 9 plus the Agile Practice Guide, the PMBOK second part. I told you, right? It's a combined book. So along with PMBOK 6, there is an Agile Practice Guide, which is also freely available, soft copy, on the PMI website. So you can download that, but it will be a tough job. You will probably will not gain that much confidence. If you have a good knowledge about Agile, then probably it might work. You need to have a very good understanding of Agile, good experience in Agile, then that might work. So ProThoughts will provide, if you take a comprehensive package, Mega, ProThoughts will help whatever it takes for you to get certified. Any sort of support. We have everything possible that you need. Okay. The exam pattern will not be based on the 5 processes, Harshvardhan. That was till last year. 5 processes, the 5 domains to 3 domains has already happened, effective January 2nd. So that 5 process was till last year. But the 5 processes, so the 5 process domains, the 5 process groups, I will say, and the knowledge areas and the ITTOs are still in the syllabus for the 50% syllabus, which is waterfall based, predictive approach. The other 50% agile will not have those 5 process groups, initiating through closing. Okay, so for any other question, I think it's almost time. We are just a minute or 2 away. One more question seems like. No, not a question. Yeah, so you can just note down our contact details. And for any further queries, please ignore the landline number, the first one. The last 2 numbers, you can always reach us out and on WhatsApp, or you can call us on those numbers as well. Thanks a lot.